Hello everyone. Uh, we are coming closer to Pesach, and I know a lot of us, a lot of Jews, are feeling a bit worried, a bit scared, a bit um, unprepared. Um, that it's going to be the first time that they do the Seder alone, home. Um, Maybe some of you didn't have so many seder yet. They don't know what to do, and my rabbi, my rebbe, said a few thoughts that I wanted to share with you, that inspire me very much to share with you, um, about how to approach it. Um, so what's happening is that we are I want to first, before to say my Rebbe's thought, I want to give a little introduction. Um, is that what is Pesach? What is Passover? The Gemara says there's two opinions when the world was created. One opinion holds that the world was created in Tishrei, and one opinion says that the world was created in Nisan. And it's a big debate. When was why one thinks like that. So there are obviously many different answers, but I want to share with you one of the answers that I think makes the most sense, to me at least, and it relates to what we are going to say. I don't remember seeing those answers, but you will see that it makes complete sense. I've read something similar to that, definitely. So what's Tishrei? So really, there were two births, two creation of the world. We says one was more spiritual and one was more physical. That's Chazal says. The point that I want to say is that Tishrei is the creation of humanity. It's creation of Adam, and the world was created, and humanity was created, and every Rosh Hashanah we celebrate. We humans. Rosh Hashanah is a festival really not just for Jews, it's a festival for the whole world. The whole world goes in judgment before God, not just Jews. So it has nothing to do with Jews, it has to do with humans, and that every human is here for a specific purpose, and that we all are to work on ourselves and to get close to God. But Nisan is different. Nisan is the building of the Mishkan, right, which is connected to the Jews, but it's the creation of the Jewish people. And we know that it says that if the Jews didn't accept the Torah, they would not have become Jewish Israel, and therefore, if there's no Torah in the world, then the Torah world has been destroyed. So the world was created. The more spiritual part is Nisan, and the more physical part is Tishrei. So what's happening is that what we're saying is that on Pesach we're talking about the creation of Israel. We're talking about that moment when certain individuals, the Hebrews and others like Yisro, the non-Jews, chose to convert to Judaism and took upon themselves that mission to be a light into the nation. And that was the whole revolution and the whole new stage in history. So what happened is that on Pesach, when Pesach comes, we are celebrating being a Jew. We're celebrating the greatness of the Jew. Pesach is about, as my Rebbe says, it's about being like a kings. We're all kings and queens. And this year, we dress all in white, and we drink laying down. Reclining, men and women, everyone. We're all kings and queens, children of God, because this is a holiday specifically for the Jews, for Israel, and because it represents their unique mission. So we have to understand, you are going to come to that Seder, and you feel unprepared. You feel maybe how I'm gonna do it. I don't know all the halachos. I don't know. It's I don't want to say it's a test because it's beyond that. We are at the end of time, and God says, I don't need your prayers in shul. We're all under the corona quarantine. I don't need your prayer in shul. I don't need your learning in yeshivot. I don't need your chesed out there. I mean, chesed, Baruch Hashem, there's plenty of chesed. Chesed always is done. But you know what I want? I want you in your home, and I want to see how you love me. I just want to be alone with you. That's what God is saying. And you know what? I just want to see that you know what it means to be a Jew. Show me just the best of yourself. We don't need to do all the halachos, the mehadrina. We have to do something from the heart. We have to do something from the best of what we can be. You are the prince and the princess and of God, and you have to. You're here to show Him that you are part of that malchus, that you are part of that greatness of the Jewish people. Not by how many halachos you know and how many things you do perfectly, by really enjoying having a meal with God and a meal with your children, if you're with your children, and call it a romantic dinner with God. Take a simple Haggadah, the Art Scroll, without commentaries. I mean, you can take with commentaries also, but the basic idea is you don't need to be an expert to run the Pesach Seder. You take the Haggadah, you just have to prepare the plate, obviously get rid of chametz before the Seder. You fill up your plate with the Seder plate, with the matzah, the bone, the egg, everything is in the small Haggadah. And you just go through the Haggadah. The most important thing is to reconnect to the fact that God is with us in exile, to tell our children, to tell the children in you that God really loves you, that even though it's dark, even though it's Corona, even though we feel alone, God loves you with your own uniqueness. You don't need anybody. You're better than that. You don't need daddy, you don't need mommy, you don't need your rabbi, you can be alone, and you are having a relationship with God. And you remind yourself that even in exile, even in the darkness, you're precious. The whole goal of the Seder is to reach the last point where I'm able to sing to God, Hallel, but even beyond that, Nirtzah. Nirtzah is the 15th and last day. And what's Nirtzah? We don't say, there's no real thing we do. We say Nirtzah is the last step. God is happy. God desires you. God desires you as you are. Part of you is a Rasha. There's a good friend remind me about the fact that the 4 children is not just the children at the table. We are all of them in us. Part of you feels like a Rasha. Part of you feels like a simple person. Part of you feels like the one that doesn't know how to ask. And part of you feels like a chacham, a wise. So we have to see that God loves all of them. If the Rasha is not at the table, it's not good. If you don't accept every part of yourself, it's not malchus. You know what's malchus? The malchus is the chelbena in the incense. You know what's the incense? Incense is the spices that Aaron HaKohen used to go against the plague. You know what goes against the corona? Is the malchus, the part of us that doesn't smell good. It feels dirty. It feels low. It feels like Yaakov. It doesn't feel like it's Israel. It feels the lowest of the lowest. And there are part of us that feel like that we don't deserve to be saved, that we don't deserve to be loved, that God doesn't care about what I do. No, not true. God loves you on your level. God loves you with the level of your Seder. You are Malchus, you're royalty. This year, we're not going to be able to ask all the questions around the table. We're not going to be able to burn the chametz. We're going to have to put in the toilets. We're not going to be able to teach our sons, our daughters. We're not going to have our kids singing Manishtana next to us. So we're not going to have our kids running and looking for the Afikoman. So a lot of things are going to be missing this year. Because God is saying, I don't need anyone else. I don't need you to be perfect. I accept you, Nirtza, I accept you the way you are. Just allow yourself to be accepted by God on your level. Like Rav Shlomo Carlebach used to say, that's all. He used to say, you know who the Rasha is? The Rasha is the one, the kid, that was never told that he's loved, that we care about him, that Hashem loves him the way he is. It's the one that feels rejected. So once you give kavod to yourself, the fact that you are an Israel, that the Pesach Seder is all about, you realize you're Israel, you're a mission, you're here to be a light into the nation. How are you in the light when it's day? No, you have to be a light when it's dark. And when it's dark, when you're in exile, and you show that you have that light, then you're able to become a light into the nation, which is the role of the Jewish people, is your role. But first, you have to believe in yourself. First, you have to go through a Pesach Seder in the conditions that we are today. And then, little by little, you are able to get some kavod, get some honor. Realize that this honor is all because of Hashem. And that when you go out in the world, you bring kavod to Hashem by being in Israel, by being out of Egypt, by being a Jew. So try to not freak out and not get scared of your Pesach Seder. Do what you can, do with the best of what you have. And if you have any questions of what you should do for the Seder, please feel free to ask me. There's some rabbis who paskins that you're allowed to use Zoom, meaning not use it, but prepare before Pesach, before the Yom Tov, you turn on Zoom, and you let it just turn off by itself, or you can have a non-Jew tell before that he should turn it off, whatever. But you can have a Zoom at the moment of the Seder to be able to be with your the other people, your family, Seder. You should do it only either if you are really alone and you really have no idea of what to do, or if you feel emotionally really in the position of pain and suffering, to do it alone. So this way, you have no other solution to be with someone else to guide you and help you. Then you can use a Zoom. So, but check with your local Orthodox rabbi for your own psak. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I'll try to inspire you and answer your question best I can. May God help you have the best Seder ever. The best Seder ever of your life, the one that you run on your own because you're a Jew. Rosh El, the Jew is the Rosh, Israel, Rosh El, the one who is a leader, is the light. Be a light unto yourself. Trust in yourself. Believe you can do it. Show yourself who you are. Show yourself you can do anything. And if you believe in yourself, then God will believe in you. Then the non-Jewish world will look up at you, and God willing, everyone will merit the Geula Shelema, this Passover, and all go to Israel singing with joy. Baruch Adonai L'olam, Amen ve'Amen.